Good morning. I'm just getting done with a few yards. And I shot a whole video yesterday. It just, when I played it back, it sounded stupid. I started sounding like preachy or whatever, you know. If I ever sound like that, say something in the comments, because that's one of my main things I hate. Especially, well, what happened when I had to kind of pull off the lawns for a little while because my refrigerator went out, and I was, you know, pulling it and blowing out under the fridge, and then I thought, well, I'm gonna give some advice and show that you should blow out your hydro cooler, fan and radiator, and your oil cooler and stuff. But you know, anytime a sentence starts out like, don't forget, or you should always, you know, then it really comes across wrong, in my opinion, or for me, in my way of articulating things and in my speech and stuff, and then it comes across as like I know everything, and I don't. But so anyway, one of the main thing of the video yesterday that I nixed the whole video was to let you know that I had started using a little trick to help me enjoy and be more productive on my handheld equipment. And the trick is, you know, like if you've ever had a song come up on the radio and it's something takes you back, you know, to when you're younger or whatever, and you know, you feel, you know, more energized and stuff. I found a trick to do that. I don't like to listen to music because I use echolocation and a lot of the feedback, sound feedback, when I'm mowing or when I'm weed eating. I can kind of tell when the blades are getting too close on a swell or something, or when the line's getting real close to the skirting on a trailer. So I don't want to listen to music while I'm working and running machinery. But what I did do, I grew up on a motocross track. Well, actually 600 acres of trails and motocross. Every weekend there'd be a couple thousand people come out, camp and ride. And you know, it was one of my chores as a young person, I think it was 6 or 7, to, you know, drive the tractor around, cleaning up the trash barrels and digging in new outhouses and latrines and whatever, and mowing, you know. So I grew up on a mower, trying to mow. Granted, all 600 acres weren't mowed, but a lot of it was around the lakes and around the flat track, around the motocross track, and then about 80 acres in the front. And we were too young to reach the pedals, so my dad would start the tractor, which was an Allis Chalmers B series with a wide front end, and it had a Woods belly mower. We had 2 of those, and since we couldn't reach the pedals, we had to be sure that when we got to the end of the pass, we didn't get ourselves into a pinch, and we had to steer right and everything. Anyway, back to the story. Wow, this one, I'm really dragging it out. We grew up around that motocross scene, so you always had the smell of 2-stroke mix, you know, and a lot of guys back then were running the castor oil or Beano. Now it's Klotz brand, K-L-O-T-Z, 2-stroke racing premix oil, and it has a distinctive smell that I still like to this day. So what had happened was I had a gas can that had been used for that, and even though it had all been cleaned out and or used up anyway, not necessarily cleaned out, and then reused for my Echo Red Armor with the ethanol free, I still was getting that smell through. So then this time I mixed up some. I intentionally put in a few drops of the Beano, the castor oil, and so now every time I'm starting up the blower or the weed eater, it's like, even though I used to just dread that part of the operation, now it's like I'm almost looking forward to it. Now I don't know how long that'll last, because anything that is programmed can be deprogrammed, you know. That programming was, you know, done from years at an early age of, you know, associating that smell with something fun. And now, if I don't necessarily not enjoy mowing, I love mowing actually, but if I had to pick between running the mower or on the handhelds, it would obviously be on the mower. But the other day, after doing this, I actually was mowing, and I was like, man, I can't wait to get on that weed eater. And I was like, wow, I've never thought that before. I never felt that way. So anyway, it's a trick I'm using now. It seems to help my productivity a little bit. And, you know, that's something that, now, it may not be that way for everybody. If you didn't have good experiences at a young age that made that association of that smell, you know, maybe Christmas was better for you or something. Maybe you can, you know, drip some peppermint oil on the end of your blower or something. I don't know about mixing it in the gas, because that might gum up the system for sure. But I use peppermint oil in my trucks to keep the bugs out and stuff. Not extract from the store, but straight oil, which is 10 times more concentrated from like the health food store. Now, that being said, castor oil Beano is notorious for not being shelf stable. Once it's mixed, you need to use it. So I would not, I mean, as small amount as I'm using, I don't know how much that's a factor, but I made a mistake. I mixed 5 gallons. I don't think that was a wise choice. I may not make it through all 5 gallons before I end up using it for something else, starting fires or whatever, because of the instability of it. Now, Red Armor, which is my base premix oil that I mix at the standard mix ratio before I add the little bit of Beano castor oil, you know, it's stable. It has a stabilizer in it. It's supposed to preserve that gas, that fuel mix for 2 years, and that's even with an ethanol blend, and I'm running ethanol free. So anyway, that was a video I was trying to shoot yesterday, but I had like 4 or 5 segments, and you know, it just didn't come. I didn't have a lot. I forgot about a lot of stuff, and it didn't come out right. So I thought, well, today I'll just share that information. All right, y'all have a good day.